Really, guys, I hate to do this to you guys because I'm going to show you some things that if you took to school back in the 80s, it proved without a doubt that you were a damn dork. Hey guys, it's back. It's time for another video. Before you say, hey, isn't it just a bully beatdown this video? No, it's an offshoot, a spinoff. Because this was not about getting beat up. This is stuff that you did at school or took to school. Most of the time, maybe some stuff that's not school related. Most of it's school related, like if you showed up with this shirt on, if you did this at school, well, it might not get you bullied, might not get you on a bully beatdown list, but it definitely screams to everyone at the school, hey, that kid's a dork. Imagine if you came to school halfway in the year. Was anything worse than that? The new kid. It was bad enough being the new kid on the new day. It was bad enough being the new kid on like the first day of school when all the other kids were there, the year before. But you didn't want to come in the middle of the year. Especially not if you came to school with some of this stuff. We're going to look at 21 things that proves without a doubt you were a dork. So some of you going to get your feelings hurt. Some of you's going to get you like, I brought that to school. I wore that shirt. I wasn't a dork. Yes, you was. You didn't know it, but when you turned around, they all laughed and pointed at you and called you a dork. So let's get through with this list here and take a look at them. If you showed up at school with your backpack or your school bag and it was DuctTales. My buddy Russ gonna be like, DuctTales was good. We ranked all the cartoons of the 80s and he wanted to put this at number 1, DuctTales. Screwy Louie and Dewey. But no kid. Again, most of the time when I talk about these, I'm talking about boys, maybe girls too. But I don't know. I don't know when it comes. I don't really know what girls like. But if you're a boy and you came to school with a DuctTales this color, oh, you were the dork. You were the dork of the school. Sorry. Again, you might not want to admit it, but it could be worse. What if you had your lunchbox and it was Tang? Tang. So I got so excited, the camera cut off. I don't know why it does that. Tang. I didn't know there was a trio, a bunch of singing lips. Tang, the drink they took to Mars. Can you imagine going to school? Everybody's got their Dukes of Hazzard lunchbox, got the Star Wars lunchbox, got all kinds of lunchboxes. Here you come with a plastic one, and not only is it plastic, it's damn Tang. You would have been cooler if you had Hawaiian Punch. I don't know that little mascot has a name or not, but Hawaiian Punch. Remember that? Check out this right here. If you came to school with a girl's wallet, you didn't want to be a boy coming to school with a girl's wallet. And here's something else for you. If you were a girl and you came to school with your girl wallet, you weren't telling the whole school you were a dork. No. You were telling the whole school you were a lesbian. Let's be honest with you. Let's be honest here. Let's be honest. Girls that carry wallets, hey, they like the same thing I like. That's all I'll say right there. But what if you were a boy and you came to school with your Ninja Turtles wallet? Ninja Turtles. But I like Ninja Turtles, Junkman. What are you talking about, Ninja Turtles? Cool. I'm not talking about if they were cool or not. I'm talking about if you came to school with a damn Ninja Turtle wallet. One, because if you have a wallet at all, that means you're too old to have a Ninja Turtle wallet. You can't come to school with your $20 folded up in your wallet and your condom. You can't. I hope you're not coming to school, at least high school. But I hope you're not taking a Ninja Turtle. But anyway, let's get back to the topic. Ninja Turtle wallet. If you're in the 2nd grade, it'd be okay. You wouldn't be a dork. But you wouldn't have a wallet. Move on. Check out this right here. If you had a California Raisins watch. California Raisin. There's no way you could be cool if you had anything California Raisin. A California... One kid's in class playing his Pac-Man watch. Another kid's cheating on the test with his calculator watch. And you're sitting in class with your damn dried up grape on your arm. California Raisin? Just stop. You wasn't cool. Like I said, your friends all said you were cool. Yeah, so you were cool, and then you got home and they're like, oh, fuck. Can you believe Dave came to school with a California Raisin watch? Your friends didn't want to tell you. Junkman, I tell you, you were a dork. How about this? If you came to school wearing a shirt that said 4 boys. If you were a dude and you came to school wearing this shirt, you were a gay dork. If you wasn't gay, they gonna call you gay. I ain't saying nothing's wrong with it, but kids tease kids back in the, well, they still tease on the day, and they would have called you, they would have called you the F word. And I'm not talking about Farm Boy Luke. I'm talking about another F word. I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say it. You know what I'm gonna say. Now you think, well, what if a girl wore this shirt? Well, that's just telling the whole school you're a slut. Let's move on to another one right here. Story Monday. A Garfield hat that says "Stop Child Abuse." Nothing in this world screams "beat me up" more than a hat that says "Stop Child Abuse." You come to school wearing this thing? Now, I told you this wasn't going to be a bully beatdown list video, just kind of all shoot. But it should be, because it's guaranteed to get you beat up here. One thing, it's got a string on it. I hated a hat that had a rope around it right here. I hated that. Never understood that. Stop child abuse. Oh, I don't want my dad to beat me up on Mondays. No, let's move on here. Damn California Raisin Hat. I'd rather have the child abuse hat than a California Raisin Hat. Who would wear that? Oh, I know who would wear that. Oh, a dork. Did you have one? Well, then you were a dork. Unless you kept it at home, maybe your aunt bought it for you or something. You kept it at home. Let that slide. How about this right here? A coloring book to the Waltons. The Waltons coloring book. One guy has his jig. They're like, hey, Friday, bring a coloring book. We're gonna have fun in art class. A girl brings a Rainbow Bright. Has to use the big old box. Got a lot of colors in that one. You know, the box that has a sharpener on it. You sharpen your crayon. I always wanted one of those. Couldn't get one. My friend had one, and I put my little finger in there and did like this, and it cut my finger all up. Now mom was like, no, my mom would never buy me one. But they have the Walton's coloring book. You ain't gonna need that big old box of crayons. All you gonna need is a bunch of damn white crayons. That's all you need, a bunch of damn white crayons. Look at this right here. I'm not even gonna say if you brought this to school, you're a dork. I'm gonna say if you know what this is, you're a dork. I see this thing at school all the time. Always some nerd dork kid had it. And I was like, what's wrong with your damn ruler? Why's it got like 4 sides on it? What's going on here? I never once had a ruler or anything that I needed a whole bunch of different sides. When this one's the metric system. This side over here, I don't know. This is too dorky. It's dorkier than a T-square. Oh, that's dork, man. That is dork. How about this right here? Yep, if you came to school and read your Charles and Charles again, any Charles and Charles book, I don't care if it's Charles and Charles again or not. Hell, if you bring anything to school with Scott Baio on it, you're gonna fall into the dork category. Yeah, you're gonna like, well, I like Chachi. He was like a cool Fonz. No, he wasn't a cool Fonz. No, he wasn't a cool Fonz. Chachi's just like Fonz, man. He was just a little younger, so I fell in love with. No, you didn't. Never thought. Fonz, man. He ain't nowhere near Fonz. Fonz is here. Chachi was way down over there. That's why he had his own spinoff show that failed. So let's move on. How about this right here? Yep. Action. You might have to bring this to school, but you put your action figures in an action figure collector case that looks like this. Can't have a Star Wars one. Can't have a Darth Vader head. Can't have one that's all G.I. Joe or all He-Man. I like to mix my action figures together. I put my G.I. Joe. I put my Star Wars. No, you don't mix your toys together. Get you a real carrying case. Get you a Star Wars one, put your Star Wars with it. Get you a He-Man one, put your He-Man. Get your G.I. Joe, put them all together, don't put them in the same generic box. Like something you buy at Revco. What about this right here? Anybody that carry this around the school, you know you're a dork. Went to lunch and you're like, anybody got any extra money? You can buy some ice cream. And everybody's like reaching into their pockets, pulling out pennies and falling over the damn floor and everything. And here comes you with your squeezable chain wallet. Squeeze it. In fact, I've never seen anybody under the age of 70 that had these. But if you did, you brought to school and you put all your change in and everything, you were a dork. It's okay to admit it, you were a dork. Maybe you're not a dork now, but looking back, admit it, you were a dork. You had this to school. It reminds me of a kid I went to school with named Jerry Jingleheimer. And he didn't have one of these. But I remember he put all his house key or any kind of key he had, he put on one of those old hotel keychains, you know, the big old plastic ones. I don't know. And he had so many, I think you're trying to find a key stuck on it. He had a lot of keys. I don't understand that. And then we have, if you wore California Raisin sunglasses, now I don't, do I really have to explain that you're a dork with this one? Can you imagine coming to school with your raisins? What? Raisins, man. Oh, I heard it through the grapevine. Yeah, you know what you heard through the grapevine? That you were a dork. Oh, it wasn't that hard to be cool. It wasn't that hard to be cool in the 80s. I don't know why you made it so hard on yourself. Yeah, you made it hard on yourself because you collected these. You kept these little index cards of spiders and mammals or whatever, and you had them all in your little tray, and every month you get a new set. That was a dork. Let's be honest, a dork. Oh, yeah. Ooh, I can't wait next month. I can't wait getting all spider related to put them in my phone. Dork. You didn't even try not to be a dork. That's what's so bad. You didn't even try. Your parents probably said, please stop being a dork. Please. Go play softball or something. Please. Join a little league. But no. I'm going to, I can't wait till they get to the zebra. If you had a subscription to Muppet Magazine, that's beyond dork. I don't know what that is. There's a loser written all over it. Because you might see a picture of pig in her diapers. But there you go. Yep. Somebody out there has a subscription to Puppet Magazine. How about this? You ain't Michael Jackson. A cheap ass fake jacket with zippers all over it. You were a dork. Mine wasn't black. Mine was gray. And I knew better not to wear it to school. I didn't wear it to school. But you take the sleeves off. I like that. You have a little vest. That was kind of cool. Well, now looking back, I know it was a dork. All the zippers didn't work. Some of the zippers were fake. They wouldn't zip, but wouldn't go anywhere. Don't you hate a zipper that doesn't go anywhere? Anybody that had this is a dork. I don't know anybody that had one personally, but whoever did, it was a dork. And check out this row. I heard it through the grapevine. California Raisin shirt. Can you imagine coming to school, California? You're like, oh, it's going to be great, man. It's going to be great. All the kids are going to be laughing. They're going to be like, oh, man, you're cool. I love that commercial. Yeah, they say that. They turn around and can you believe William? Can you believe William? He's never going to touch a titty. Oh, fuck. And then how about this? Anytime you had one of these little beanies and it had the ball on top of it. Now, I had a Pittsburgh Steelers one. I didn't know any better, but I was younger. Got to middle school. I knew you don't wear that ball's just to grab so they can yank it off your head. You know they're gonna do that. Don't put balls on your head. No. And how about this? Mittens. I still don't know why they even make them. You can't grab shit with them. Why they got mittens for? Anytime you wore a mitten, you were a dork. If you're like, my fingers are cold. Mama, go get the mittens. No, you're a dork. Mama probably went to the closet to look for the shotgun. Mittens. How about this right here? Oh my God. A California Raisin Puppet. You put my fingers in the back of it. I heard it through the grapevine. It's a damn commercial about raisins. And you're buying merchandise. Taking it to school and showing everybody. And now you're an adult. You're like, man, why didn't I have a girlfriend in the 6th grade? You don't know, you didn't have a girlfriend in the 6th grade. Well, shit, maybe you shouldn't have had a damn California Raisin Muppet. Puppet, whatever. Fuck. Why you guys had to make the 80s so hard? But believe it or not, it's 21 things that's guaranteed to prove without a doubt you were a dork. Now, you might have came to school. You were a dork. You could have got out of that zone. You're like, I'm in the dork zone. Then you come to school with something like a cool ass Star Wars shirt, and you won't be in the dork zone anymore. Sometimes you got to fake it. wear a damn football shirt. You're like, oh, I gotta wear my Dallas Cowboy shirt so I fit in. Don't go that far. You don't want to be a poser either.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.